Okay, today we are doing a super easy, accessible, sparkly holiday eye look. Okay, this is gonna be something that everyone can do, and I'm going to be talking you through it depending on your eye shape as well. Okay, I already have my eyeshadow base on, so something natural, something that's like not too opaque. It depends on your style, but I want this to be a little bit more lived in, a la Nina Park. She's been inspiring basically all of my makeup looks recently. This is really going to focus on the sparkle, okay? We're gonna be enhancing the eye's natural features, which is why it's going to work for everyone, everybody's eye shape. And then we're gonna be really highlighting the eyes with a good amount of sparkle, okay? A good amount. Speaking of sparkle, I know you saw this gorgeous necklace that I'm wearing. I'd like to thank Google for sponsoring this portion of the video, and shout out to Ring Concierge. The Google Holiday 100 is a list of gift ideas based on search trends throughout the year, so it's basically made to make you the best gift giver ever, and you know whoever you're gifting will love it. Before buying a holiday gift like jewelry, you can make sure you're getting the best present by checking out the ratings and reviews from experts and other shoppers on your item. So I chose this gorgeous diamond script initial pendant from Ring Concierge for one of my best friends. I knew if I had it on, I would get your attention. I've known her since we were 14. She's the hardest working mother of 3. If anyone deserves a little sparkle this holiday, it's her. It's this delicate 14 karat gold hand-drawn letter. It has the most brilliant natural hand-selected diamonds. It's so perfect for layering, so she can mix and match with other pendants for a more personalized look, and the bail allows it to be styled on different chains, so she could switch it up. I love that I got to choose everything about this gift. It's perfect for anyone. Yourself, your partner, your parent. The personalization makes it the perfect gift. And the head designer designed the font herself, so it's completely unique. So thanks to the collective trend search from Google's Holiday 100, I knew exactly what to get for my friend. So check out the link in the description to get inspired and start your holiday shopping. And shout out to Google Shopping for helping me discover the top gifts of the year, and Ring Concierge for the gift from my bestie Boo Face. Okay, back to sparkle on the eyes. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the Charlotte Tilbury Walk of No Shame eyeliner. This is one of my favorites. I don't know why, but it always screams holidays to me, probably because it's a little bit more of like a reddish brown. So if you don't want to use red, you can go in with brown, black. It really doesn't matter. We're really just defining the eyes, but the red is really gonna like bring some holiday into it, you know? And also, it's really gonna make my eyes pop. It's gonna look gorgeous on blue. It's gonna look gorgeous on every eye shade, but like some people are a little sketched around red, a little sketchy around red. So I'm just gonna use this to line my eyes. Now, if you have hooded eyes, then I do not want you to bring this all the way in. Just kind of taper it to like halfway, because especially if you have hooded eyes, it's really going to kind of like drag your eyes down. So then I'm gonna grab a little 03 brush, which I feel like it's like what I use for everything nowadays. And I'm just gonna kind of like pat that. And if you have a difficult time with keeping the product where you want it, like if it ends up getting kind of like blown out, just angle your brush downward. That's really gonna help. Okay, so this is gonna be great if you have pretty much any shaped eye. If you have almond shaped eyes, again, similar to the hooded eyes, to be honest, if you want to kind of enhance that, then you can do the same thing. Don't bring it all the way in to the center. Just bring it like right to your pupil or something. Just kind of taper it. You could even kind of stop it a little bit sooner and sort of like wing it out. I'm gonna do like the tiniest little wing just to kind of enhance a little bit of shape. Like I'm just gonna flick it up here, just like that. So even if you're someone who's not super confident around like wings or anything, you can just kind of like taper it out. And again, remember, if you have hooded eyes, focus on this kind of shape. Isn't that so pretty? So it really just makes my eyes pop. I mean, because I have a lot of green in my eyes, it really makes my eyes pop. But in general, it's kind of fun, especially for the holidays, to kind of play around with, rather than doing like the typical brown or black, playing around with like a deep blue or even like a royal blue or like I was gonna say royal green, like a forest green, something like that, to just kind of like maybe enhance your eye color and I don't know, be a little bit more fun. You know what I mean? This is gonna be so easy. So like, why not just like use some little pops of color? So now I'm going to grab the Major Dimension 2 palette from Patrick Ta, and I'm going to set that liner with this shade right here. I have no idea what it's called. Passion, I believe. Passion. So I'm actually gonna use that same brush. I'm just gonna kind of like wipe it off. Dip into that color. Make sure you're tapping your brush off. You can even work it into the back of your hand if you struggle with fallout like I do all the time. And I'm just gonna kind of gently pat over that. And I am tapering closer when I get to the inner corner. So this is just gonna, first of all, it's gonna set that liner and it's gonna soften that look. So if you like didn't really apply the wing perfectly, don't worry about it, you know. This is where you can kind of fix your mistakes. See how much softer that looks? It's just like, mutes the color ever so slightly because we are still using a red, but it just like softens it overall. So this is really just supposed to like enhance the lash line. If you have rounded eyes, I would suggest skipping the wing or testing out a puppy dog kind of eye where rather than taking the wing out up higher, you sort of follow like the natural the natural way that your lashes sort of go. So you can see like where my lash is. Hopefully you can see this sort of line right here. Just kind of like follow that. And I think I have a tutorial on puppy dog eye. Do I? I think I do. Basically what I'm trying to say is if you have round eyes, don't fight it. Don't try to do like a fox eye, you know what I mean? So there are just like little adjustments that you can do with this to make it really flattering for your eye shape specifically. Okay, I'm gonna take my Rephr 02 brush and I'm gonna pick up that same color from the Patrick Ta palette, just on the tip of the brush. And I am just going to look up, sort of buff this at the lash line, kind of like, you can see where I am. I'm not taking it all the way in, and I'm not even gonna like buff it all the way out. I'm actually just gonna place that like that and move on to the other side. So I'm not fully lining the eye, just like right here. So we're just kind of hugging the lash line. And I'm just gonna buff that off and then blur it out and buff it down. And you can do this with your bronzer, you can do this with like, you can do this with any color, you can do this with green if you're really trying to get crazy, you know? So I just want to soften that, but that's where I wanted the majority of the pigment, like right there. Isn't that pretty? Now, if you have round eyes, and I suggested the puppy dog eyes, then you definitely want to make sure that you are connecting. And again, you're sort of following your lower lash line for that swoop. So you're gonna go kind of like, that's a good, I'm gonna go kind of like in this direction. You're gonna go from your lash line and kind of go swoop like that for a winged liner if you want it to look a little bit better with your eye shape specifically. Doing it up higher might just kind of fight your eye shape a little. If you have hooded eyes, then you do not want to take this all the way in, especially in here, just because most likely your lid is going to be like more covered. So you don't want to bring like too much attention here. It's going to kind of like drag the eyes down. So you want to focus very much in sort of like this V shape. And don't be afraid to use this area, okay? If you have skin that's popping down like that, it's covering everything, don't be afraid to kind of like blend up onto that. And you don't have to do swiping motions. You can kind of pat. You can kind of pat to make sure that it's like nice and blended and it works when your eyes are open and also closed, okay? Okay, now for the shimmer, I'm so excited about this product. So there's a few different shades. I think I'm gonna be using this one though. This is the Glitter Puck from Half Magic. It's so incredible. Look at this, ooh. Look at that, stunning gorgeous. Now this is why I didn't want to do like a super opaque base on my lids, because this is going to act as like a really gorgeous topper that it's gonna make the makeup look very lived in, you know, when we go in with this, because we're not going for precision. This is just gonna get sparkle everywhere, okay? We're going for sparkle. So she has a couple different shades. Cyber Diamond, which is like this silvery shade. So if you're like very, very pale and you have maybe like a cooler undertone and you want like a silver effect, that's a really good one. And then she also has Dopamine Sparkle, which I thought about using. It's a little bit more of a rose. It's really pretty. Look at that. Gorgeous with like some gold in it. But I really like the neutral one. Obviously you can do this with any color. So I'm literally just gonna go in with my finger. I'm just gonna pick it up with my ring finger. Look at that. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to press this on the lids, starting just above that liner. Can you see that? That's so gorgeous. And then we're gonna take it out. Okay, we're just gonna take it out. So no matter your eye shape, I want you to start wherever, when your eye is opened, you can see like something, some lid. If you're hooded, if you have super hooded eyes and you don't see any lid, that's fine. Just do it like right above, right in that little area between your eyebrows. If your eyebrows basically come down to your eye line, like your lash line, pop it in your brow. Like I'm not even joking, like just underneath your brow, okay? It's gonna look different on everybody, we have to keep that in mind, but everyone can wear this, okay? So I'm literally just going to fade it out to my brows. Isn't that so pretty? And you absolutely have the option of taking it out even further. You can keep it more in like a halo, like a halo eye. Isn't that so beautiful? And the cool tone of the shimmer, it is this nice sort of like neutral shimmer, but it has like a little bit of like a silvery pearl to it. It really juxtaposes against that red liner so beautifully. This is gonna be perfect for literally any holiday you are celebrating. The shimmer really makes me think of New Year's Eve, but any holiday party. And I'm just gonna kind of like pat that so that it diffuses into my temple, and you can kind of see like how my highlight is. Just sort of diffuse into my highlight. Just keeping it nice and soft over here on this end. And then I'm just gonna take a smaller brush. This is like a really random brush. This is from Makeup Forever. It's the 216. Just like a little bit more dense. I think a dense brush works better for picking up these products. And I'm just gonna buff that in to my inner corner. And then just fade it down. So you can see it looks almost like wet. Like a oil slick almost. Isn't that so pretty? It just looks a little bit more finished when you sort of like bring it in. But if you feel like that's a little too much, because we do have so much shimmer happening, then you can just, you know, ignore this part. Okay, now I am going to include my mascara application because some people were asking me recently about how I do that. Where is my lash curler? So I'm gonna be using waterproof mascara just so that it lasts long, and you know, if you're going to like a party or an event or something, you wanna make sure that it's not gonna be melting. So I'm just gonna give my lashes a quick curl. I usually do the center, then I do the inner part, like focus on the inner lash, and then I will focus on the outer part of the lash. I'm going up the lash. So I'm gonna be using my Clio mascara. This is the Superproof Long Curling. So what I do is I do an extremely thin, light layer, literally just one coat. And I just make sure that I'm like combing the lashes out really well and they're not getting clumpy. And then once I have like a relatively even application, I'll just sort of like focus a little bit more on the tips. But this is a waterproof mascara, so it's really gonna hold my lashes up. And obviously you can wear falsies if you want to, but I think this looks really beautiful when you just have natural looking lashes. Plus the black mascara really pops against that red. Isn't that so beautiful? And it just holds that curl really, really nicely. Isn't that so pretty? Ooh. And then for my lower lashes, I'm also gonna be using the Clio Superproof, but I'm gonna be using the brown one just because I feel like, who did I learn that from? Was it Nikki Makeup? Nikki Makeup, the makeup artist. I don't remember her. I never remember her last name. Not Nikki. Not Nikki Tutorials. Not Nikki LaRose. Not. I think there's so many other Nikkis, but I think she uses brown mascara on the lower lashes, and it just looks so natural. And since the rest of my face, like my base is very, very natural, and the eye is kind of like statement, but also soft. I just stabbed myself. I just stabbed my lash. I want to use brown just to keep this like a little bit softer on the bottom so that it doesn't like bring the eye down, you know? Now, if you have incredible lashes, you do whatever you want. But sometimes I feel like if I do black on the lower lash line, it's just a little distracting from my upper lashes. Ooh. Ah! All right, guys, that's literally it. That is all I'm doing. So easy, so quick. Just like a nice blurred out liner, some lashes, and a lot of shimmer, okay? And this stuff lasts so beautifully. Like it feels incredibly lightweight on the eyes. I don't know if you've ever worn glitter before, like actual glitter. This is so much more comfortable. It's not going to weigh anything down. It's not gonna feel heavy. It's not gonna fall into your eyes and, you know, I don't blind you, you know? All right, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If any of you decide that you are gonna try this for the holidays, please let me know like what products you're using. I wanna know what color you're using for your liner. I would love to know like what your eye shape is and how you make adjustments. Please let me know if my little tips for each eye shape helped at all. And yeah, I wanna see any photos if you happen to post them on social. Sometimes people tag me and I love it so much. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. As always, everything is linked down below. And thank you again to Google for sponsoring a portion of this video. Don't forget to check out the Google Holiday 100 list. Bye.